Sex, porn, love addiction is all about self-soothing to manage your emotions. It got set up back in the childhood development years. It's just not about sex, it's not about porn. It's all about the repeated use has set up the physiology to crave those dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, self-manufactured drugs in the body. It's impacting women, men, children aged 10 to 75 across all the age ranges, the sexes, the cultures, the professions. It increased exponentially during COVID lockdown and impacting so many lives. The Kairos Center has created the first online comprehensive sex, porn, love addiction. It's a video on demand recovery program which you can access from anywhere in the world and begin to see identifiable changes just within 6 weeks of beginning this weekly program. Kairos means your appointed time. Isn't it your time to reclaim your life? Bring color back to life without shame. Click the link below and begin your journey. You owe it to yourself and to others. I want to cover a really important topic about helping you to better understand the core beliefs that exist in your life, which you may not be entirely aware of and which you may not have bought into. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain a little about core beliefs. Core beliefs come out of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. So the underlying theory behind CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, suggests that we have 3 levels of cognition. You now know cognition, more than just thinking. And those 3 levels of cognitions are core beliefs, intermediate beliefs, automatic thoughts. I'm going to give you the most basic, rudimentary commentary on each of those 3 before I move on to give you the exercise which I want you to do to see if you can flush out, if you can find your core beliefs that you perhaps have bought into and have had free reign in your life. I've often say rent-free for years. You need to find out if those core beliefs are actually true. So, those 3 levels of cognition. The first one, core beliefs. And this is the most fundamental level of belief. Core beliefs are very global, very rigid, also very overgeneralized. Let me give you an example. I am a failure. Can you hear how very global and generalized is that statement? Essentially, I'm a failure in everything I do, in all situations. Can that really be true? No one likes me. No one in the whole world likes me. Now, you might think those comments are really ridiculous. Of course they're not true. They can't be true at all. And yet, you may not realize that there are similar ones like that you have actually bought into over many years. And they live and work away in your life, often in the unconscious. Everything goes wrong when I touch it. Core beliefs. Have you got some core beliefs that you don't even know about, that are doing their worst in your life, and they're burdensome, and they play a part in causing you to want to act out because they can be stressful, difficult things that you've bought into that may not be entirely true? We need to find them and expel them if they're not true and there's no foundation or evidence to support their truth, but you've bought into them for so long. They exist and are at work in your life actively. Intermediate beliefs. Intermediate beliefs are the sets of attitudes, rules and assumptions which come out of and are influenced by the core beliefs. Let me give you an example of intermediate beliefs. If I come second, it shows I'm a failure. if I win anything, must be something wrong with the prize because I never win anything. The core belief, I'm a failure. The intermediate belief, I came second, shows I'm a failure. I never win anything, the core belief. The intermediate belief, must be something wrong with the prize if I got to win something. The third level, automatic thoughts, and simply put, automatic thoughts are, as the label says, when any of those situations happen, there's an automatic thought that goes with whatever the thing that has happened. Automatic thoughts are generated in the given situation and they stem out of the core belief. If I win something, the automatic thought must be something wrong with it because I never win anything. So automatically the core belief kicks in, and the core belief underpinned by the intermediate belief. That's as much as I really want to say about that. This is very much concepts that come out of CBT. And I want us to do something now with particularly core beliefs. There's an exercise that I want to explain to you, which I want you to do. Whenever I give you the title of this exercise, it's called cognitive restructuring. Always sounds like brain surgery. But actually, if you break it down, cognitive, my thinking, and often my negative bad thinking, needs restructuring, needs challenging and changing and put in a better structured way. So my core beliefs, I need to challenge them if I can find them. They don't want you to find them because they live rent-free in your life and have been doing their worst for a long time. So core beliefs aren't going to want you to find them. But this exercise is exactly that. You're going to need to really devote some good time for this particular homework exercise, where for a good space of time, you're going to need to see if you can find your core beliefs, as many as possible. And as you find them, this is what I'd like you to do. One at a time. So find one of them, I am or I never, whatever it may be, and write that at the top of an A4 sheet of paper. I want you to then, underneath that, draw a line down the middle of the paper. And we're doing a sort of a pros and cons. So put pros on one column, cons on the other side. And here are the questions that I want you to ask of the core belief. Strange, but we need to drill down to see if that core belief is true. You've bought into it. It's been living in your life rent-free. If it's true, then I guess there's a basis for it to stay. But if it's not true, you've got to give it, well, don't even give it notice. You've got to expel it, kick it out, because it's been living in your life rent-free for long enough. It's got to go. But first, let's see if we can find the evidence to support the truth of those core beliefs and weigh up the evidence. Are the thoughts, the beliefs true? The core belief, is it true? Here's those questions. What evidence exists to support the belief? You're going to have to spend some time trying to find the evidence for that particular core belief. If there's insufficient evidence, you're going to need to restate the core belief to justify it still staying. Is there another way of looking at the situation? How might somebody else view the situation, the core belief? Have you set unachievable standards when you buy into that core belief? Is the core belief actually true? Sometimes you just have to apply just a blatant question like that, are you really true? Because sometimes it's so ridiculous, that core belief that we bought into, that you can't be real.